Have you ever noticed that as soon as you open your eyes, your thoughts feels disorganized? As the alarm goes off, you draw down your full day and strike. Just 5 more minutes of snoozing will make it half an hour later, and your eyelids will still be sleepy. Take out your phone and start looking through social media and news texts. Then you realize you're running late, so you quickly get out of bed. Already tired, uncertain of where to begin, your thoughts are distracted in all ways. Except this is what happens when we lack a core principle of inner discipline. Inner discipline, according to Stoic thought, isn't about making yourself into a robot. It's the ability to control your thoughts, regulate your feelings, and a Stoic teaches the mind how to fight, being ruled by automatic behaviors or fleeting feelings. Every morning, a fighter prepares their body for fight, and the hardest. When you begin your day with a good mood, your opponent is always yourself. You take charge with a calm, focused, and grounded attitude. Your output rises as a result of how your day goes, but more importantly, you feel a greater sense of calm after seeing today's video. Through 11 useful lessons that will help you in mentally training every morning. Inspired by Stoic ideas and supported by clear real-world examples, so you can use them with ease. Pay attention to these lessons and watch how your day starts too. The first shift lesson is a special moment that starts quietly in the morning. Start lesson number 1, quietly. Not only signifies the beginning of a new day, but also the time when our thoughts are most impressionable, directly following waking. The lines separating the subconscious from thought start to race. Feelings are erratic, and awareness is still thin. If you're not careful, you'll be carried into the waves that rush the shore. The day before you even know your current position, which is why even just 3 to 5 minutes of sitting each morning can make a big difference. Quietly doing nothing, not using a phone, not talking. You may restart your entire life by browsing and just being there in your own silence. According to internal operating system science, this quiet moment aids in breathing control and helps your body move away from the underlying worry of sleepless nights into the parasympathetic state, which is the healing state, and relaxation calms the nervous system, lowers cortisol levels, and most importantly, allows you to begin the day aware and independent of the noise outside. Adam, a CEO of a software business, once shared his straightforward yet incredibly successful process. He sits in a chair in the morning before opening his laptop and replying to a single email. Chair in his room's corner, closes his eyes, inhales deeply 3 times, and spends 5 minutes sitting quietly. He doesn't utilize music or refer to it as meditation. Using an app, it serves as a quick message to himself that he is living and in control of this day, not the entire world. After forming this habit, Adam learns that he no longer reacts rashly to pressure or sudden news. Instead, he responds, which is a clear sign of a trained mind. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "Man cannot find a more peaceful or trouble-free escape rather than within his own soul." That sentence is more than just a theory. It's a useful lesson rather than finding calm in the noisy, news-filled outside world. Demands the Stoics found how to go back within to the only area they really had. Control morning quiet is neither a slow living fad nor a spiritual exercise. It's a method that you use in your mind to spark the motor of your think for yourself rather than letting the world to set the spark. Starting with goal rather than response, and it serves as the base for a day lived like the Stoics, with self-control, focus, and discipline. Determine the virtue of the day in the second plan lesson. Determine the day's virtue in lesson number 2. The world hasn't changed since you woke up each morning, but you have a fresh chance to decide how you want to spend that day in the framework of Stoic thought extrinsic goals, such as money, fame, or success. To a Stoic, honor isn't something that can be taken away from you, some vague idea to put on a shelf. It serves as a guide for each tiny action, and you must place virtue on your desk every morning in order to teach your mind, like a tool to help you hone your will. And today's virtue is a simple but impactful question. Pick one trait you wish to improve in your thoughts. Endurance, ethics, bravery, or temperance is only one thing. But if you practice it regularly throughout the day, you won't simply know what's right, and you'll act properly even in the most mundane scenarios. Situation: when you decide to exercise patience on that day, every problem involving being stuck in traffic turns waiting into practice. Rather than feeling irritated, you tell yourself, "This is a lesson in patience that I chose." Morning. You take a big breath, release it gently, and pay attention to your feelings instead, rather than be carried away by them. You are no longer dependent on your in a world full of chaos. You're constantly teaching your thinking. So a day like that doesn't go to waste. It's a small but important step toward improving. Determining your virtue of the day also helps clear your thought of clutter. Many people experience drifting in the morning when they are unsure about what to do, on autopilot throughout the day, and worse, you're led by feelings. But when you focus on a single value, every action has a distinct goal, which works as an anchor to prevent your ideas from getting thrown around by news complaints or external diversions. In one of his thoughts, the Stoic ruler Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Live as if today were the final day you were given the chance to live properly. And if it were, when was the last time you wanted rage to consume your thoughts, anxiety, jealousy, or quiet courage? You work out every morning and choose to be honest, open-hearted, and kind. Pick a trait to develop and look at yourself at. To become Stoic, one must think and recognize at night. The mind is like a blade in the tiny daily moves, not in the storm. Life. And if you're up for the following test, prepare yourself for a command that may alter your outlook on all life's challenges and show to you why lesson number 3. Premeditation is the best strength of a person who has learned to master their thoughts. Premeditatio malorum. Lesson number 3. Memorum. You make coffee in the morning before an important meeting. Your laptop and your thoughts begin to race through a number of scenarios. What if I lose touch in the middle? What if a coworker questions my idea on what would happen if the boss asked data that I hadn't previously prepared? The goal of questions is to prepare you, not to cause anxiety. Being prepared is the best defense against unforeseen situations. This is the attitude of premeditatio malorum. One of the key Stoic philosophy's practical ideas can be roughly translated as premeditatio malorum. The premeditation of calamities prompts us to imagine possible setbacks, disasters, or fails to be pessimistic. But Stoics don't trust in luck, therefore they face problems head-on. They train their minds the way soldiers train their minds, because they think that readiness is key. Swords are constantly prepared for fight, and do not wait for the opponent to show. The best time to put this idea into practice is in the morning, before the mayhem starts. Of life and work, take a few moments to sit quiet and think. What could throw me off today? It might be a crying kid, an angry customer, traffic, or overload of schedules. By imagining these things beforehand, you remove their component of shock. Your mind has already recognized them and told itself, this could occur, and I'll avoid panicking. This is what current psychology sees it as. Professional athletes train mentally every day by picturing themselves losing by a small margin or falling behind in points, and they practice in their heads how their brain systems are trained to heal before they ever set foot on the field, to stay composed in real situations and adjust to pressure more quickly. This is a type of morning strength for regular folks like you and me as well. Training in accepting uncertainty so that when it materializes, we don't. More importantly, fear is not limited to merely thinking what may go wrong. It drives action when you picture losing internet access, while naturally you check your link and set up a backup hotspot before the meeting. You prepare your points more when you expect a friend to push back. This training is a full mental discipline that allows you to react intelligently rather than impulsively and keep brief control. For the following 7 days, try putting this idea into practice every morning before doing anything else. Spend 3 minutes thinking that today might not go as planned, not out of fear, but rather to be ready. And you'll see that the more you plan for possible problems, the more you grow more strong to whatever truly happens. Differentiate between what can be managed and what cannot in lesson number. In lesson 4, make a distinction between what can be managed and what is not. Every morning does our mind have to make a number of decisions on what to think about. Hasn't occurred yet to become angry about things that are out of our control, or to concentrate on the things we can do better today. As a single decision decides if the day will either be one of understanding or exhaustion. One of the basic lessons of Stoicism is the ability to distinguish clearly between what we can control and what this is about safeguarding your mental energy, not about shutting up. Preserving inner stability, especially during those the times of day, when you focus entirely on the things that you can control. You become proactive by taking action, thinking, and responding. However, when your thoughts are focused on things that are out of your control, people's feelings, opinions, or unknowable outcomes might quickly turn you into a victim. Situation engulfed in uncontrolled forces. As you're getting ready for a critical presentation, you have control over how carefully you prepare your topic and how often you practice, how composed you sound, and how well groomed you appear. But you have no control over how the audience will respond. If you hear criticism, or if the weather works, or if your thoughts keep going back to the screen, those unpredictable factors, you'll begin your day feeling worried rather than Epictetus, a serene philosopher, once stated, "Make the most of what is in your power and accept the rest as it comes." That's a compass, not simply suggestion. For achieving a life of mental freedom, when you learn to let go of things that aren't yours, hold, you're also easing pressure on yourself. This should be the first thing you do each morning, to train your mind to predict and fear. Consider what I can actually affect today. It might be when you wake up. Attitude you choose when dealing with challenges, the way in which you react to others. You'll discover that you're less scared by what's happening all around you, and your spirit becomes stronger and isn't pulled about any longer by outside forces. Give this a try for a week each. In the morning, list the 3 things you want to control today, issues you decide not to worry about. You'll notice a change, not only in efficiency, but in terms of inner tranquility. Have you ever noticed yourself squandering energy on something that's beyond of your control? Tell us about it in the comments. Every day, we can all learn a lot from these encounters. Lesson number 5. There is a common trap that the contemporary act now. Lesson number 5. A usual thought is to wait for inspiration, or till we're more waking up, feeling happy or more content before we begin working. However, waiting is a luxury for the Stoics, who understood that feelings are untrustworthy, and since our deeds define who we are, Stoicism disregards your feelings. Inaction is the first thing that counts in the morning, followed by motivation. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "It is a wake-up call for you." I am rising to do the work of a human being myself. An age engulfed in doubt and delay it's a call to get back to our core as action-oriented beings. Not being mood-driven machines that act instantly does not mean hurrying through everything or abandoning the plan. Rather, it's a way of thought, that action and not letting fear consume you. Every morning you may feel unprepared, but if you wake up at that same moment, wash your face and make some coffee, you've already won your first fight if you open a book and read just 2 pages. Meditation is not necessary to fight procrastination. Music. Start simple and unprocessed, and there's no need for a superfood smoothie. Resolute contemporary biology supports this, and when you act, even the dopamine, the neurotransmitter that gives the tiniest step, is released by your brain. A feeling of success. Motivation comes from action, not the other way around. Surrounding. And if you maintain that cadence every morning, your body starts to recall that I get up in the morning. There's no need to wait. You can discipline your thinking and make behavior a reflex. Of course, philosophy was not written by the Stoics to be shown in a glass case. They wrote it with the purpose of living by it, walking with it, and acting upon it. Epictetus stated, "First think about who you would be, then take the necessary steps." He wasn't. He was giving himself directions while preaching. And if you wish to train this is a step you can't skip. Act immediately to control your thoughts every morning. Nobody can wait to start, so don't wait for perfection or to feel ready. Regulate their feelings upon awakening, but you have control over the original action, and the entire day then shifts. Memento mori is the 6th lesson. Lesson number 6. Maybe nothing wakes us up tomorrow, more than just keeping in mind that there won't be any more alarm clocks when we wake up one day. I'll do it. No more sunlight leaking through the window. The fact that you will die tomorrow is not a danger. Rather, it is a deep Stoic philosophy serves as a warning that being human doesn't make you. On the contrary, being negative makes you value every moment of life more. If you truly understand that life is limited, you will feel this every morning when you wake up. Won't go through it automatically, and you'll quit putting off the chores, that calling a loved one, writing a page, going for a workout outside, or just taking a few minutes to stay motionless and listen to yourself when you realize that today could be the final time you have the chance to perform these things. You will be fully present. Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher, reportedly said that one must wait for inspiration or the ideal time. Wrote, "You could end your life now and let that dictate your actions and words." And reflect. The Stoics taught their minds to stop living in fear of dying in this way. However, they were completely aware of it, so to live more deeply, picture getting a call from a family member you've been intending to contact again later. At that very time, when as you prepare to put it off once more, say to yourself, "Memento mori." Discover that you are answering the phone not out of duty, but rather out of enthusiasm. I'm happy that I can still connect with you and tell you that I love you. And getting out of autopilot state is much easier by practicing memento mori in the morning. It breaks through the mental numbing routines and brings you back to what truly counts. Sloth, melancholy, and procrastination, wasting time on things that don't live each day as though it were your last. Don't waste it. You utilize the first hour of the day to live thoughtfully. And if you've read this far, I want to take a moment to show gratitude. We are halfway through the trip, and the fact that you're still here indicates that you're truly finding time to develop your inner world and live mindfully every day. And I truly appreciate it. Let's go on to lesson number 7. If memento mori wakes you to the frailty of life, Amor Fati will then serve as your guide to welcome all that the day has to offer. Or malicious with good motives, don't miss Amor Fati. Have you ever questioned why you perform badly? In lesson number 7. Amor Fati, lesson number 7. Everything always seems to fall into place just when you need it to. And one morning, you wake up prepared. When the air conditioner suddenly breaks on a new day, it's scorching outside, tight, and you become agitated, feeling as though your entire day has been ruined by a little bother. But at that very moment, if you are, you wouldn't question why I would study from someone who adheres to Stoic thought. The idea of Amor Fati is needed in order to say excellent, which implies that one of the basic tenets of Stoicism is love of fate. It goes beyond simple acceptance. It includes deliberately loving everything that comes your way, regardless of what occurs, good or negative, because when you have a focused mind, you understand that every situation, even the unwanted ones, are important for the order of the universe. And as being a reasonable person, you can beat difficulties and achieve even more into growth-promoting fuel rather than fighting reality. The Amor Fati practitioners use it when the air conditioner fails and you have the choice to be upset, whine, and let that unpleasant emotion to rule your morning. Linger all day long, or you may go outside and be moved by the heat. You to take a couple short strolls around the neighborhood. You move your body, take deep breaths, and receive the early light. Probably reject it for comfort. It didn't work out for you, but you train your mind to think about yourself rather than the situation. Every morning through training, not by making the surroundings suit your tastes, your thoughts to stay in balance with the world, every little rain, traffic, or a postponed meeting, all be small setbacks for your mentality. If you win, you fortify your inner fortitude. If you fail, you another chance to try again the next day, which entails practicing Amor Fati every morning. Rather than responding passively, prepare your mind to handle any scenario. You actively adapt rather than asking why, saying, it's me and I'm strong enough to make this, with a smile. The goal of successful mental discipline is not to try to control everything. Rather, is about taking charge of how you act and relinquishing control over the things you cannot. Every morning, remind yourself that responding in Amor Fati is a key step in that journey. Whatever happens, I decide to accept it and make it a part of who I am. Lesson number 8. As you train your mind, train your body. Lesson 8. Grow your body as you grow your intellect. A powerful mind cannot survive for very long. No one can better understand this than a Stoic training program. The mind is never stop working out your body. It's not merely a mutually beneficial partnership. Relationship is one in which the intellect and body help one another. Every time you push yourself to get out of bed, you grow together. Put on your shoes early and get moving. you're making a strong impression. Even on the most boring mornings, you can see that I am in control of myself. After only 15 minutes of your body starts to release endorphins, after 2 minutes of planking or jogging. The happiness chemicals that make you feel better and less stressed. Every step you take on the trip offers a respite from the mental turmoil and return you to the present. The Stoics refer to this state as the beautiful thing about being totally present in reason is that after an exercise, not only makes you feel physically renewed, but it also improves your ability to think successfully. Petty concerns appear to make choices easier, but this extends beyond only the physical benefits of exercising. You are developing a fundamental Stoic virtue, even if you only commit a few minutes each day. Exercise is a regulated way to fight against being lazy. Two of the most harmful adversaries of a mind that seeks to grow every ounce of sweat demonstrates your ability to perform difficult jobs, not because you feel like it, but rather because if you want to discipline your thoughts every day, you know it's the right thing to do. You don't need to train like an athlete to begin with. You just need to control your body. Stretch, get out of bed, take a deep breath, and begin with tiny. These are the gestures you use to say good morning when someone meets you. Living carefully. So how are you doing? Exercising your body every morning and sharing your routines or stories in them. You never know what you might share in the comments part below. It might encourage someone else to begin their moral journey by reading lesson number 9 in lesson 9. Read a Stoic quote and consider it. Consider a Stoic saying each morning before beginning the hectic schedule of chores and obligations. I spend precisely 3 minutes of reading a few texts from Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. Not much, just a line or two, but I stop and take out a pen and record my thoughts about it. On some days, I write about the brevity of time. Other days, it's about anger or keeping calm in the midst of chaos. And the strange thing is those words, which seem like ancient wisdom, become a source of strength for the rest of my day. That is the power of Stoic philosophy. The ideas of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, or Epictetus aren't dogmatic ideas. They're mental medicine, short, profound lines that can shift your thinking, like adjusting the rudder of a ship to keep it from drifting off course in open water. When your mind first wakes up, it's soft and impressionable. If you open your phone and start looking through bad news or social media, you're pouring fuel on the fire of worry. But if you start your day with a Stoic thought, something like, you have power over your mind, not outside events, realize this, and you will find strength. You're telling yourself that you always have the power to choose your reaction to whatever happens. Reading a Stoic quote isn't just reading, it's thinking. It asks you to pause and connect those words with your own life experience. You might copy down a quote, then write a short note, like, I tend to respond too quickly when I'm criticized. Today, I'll try stopping for 5 seconds before reacting. That's when theory becomes action, and your mind begins to change. Modern psychology backs this up. Studies show that morning journaling combined with self-reflection can lower stress, improve focus, and increase decision-making when you view yourself through the lens of a strong idea. You don't just think more clearly, you feel like you're living with meaning. From that small habit, you start to build a steady psychological foundation, one where you're not easily swept away by impulsive feelings or external chaos. That's when you truly train your mind, not through pressure or rigid control, but through the clarity of calm, conscious thought. And every morning, like that, you're not just reading a quote. You're changing how you see the world. Lesson number 10, journaling every morning is a new page. Lesson number 10, journaling. But before you write the next part of your day, pause to reread the last one. The Stoics didn't support living in the past, but they always emphasized learning from it. Writing isn't just about putting words on paper. It's a skill in thinking clearly, cleansing the mind, and most importantly, having an honest talk with yourself. Stoics often begin and end each day with 3 simple yet important questions. What did I do well today? Where did I fall short? And how can I improve tomorrow? This isn't a test, it's a mirror for the soul to see yourself more clearly, not to judge, but to understand and grow. There's no supervisor, no marks, just you, your pen and your honesty. You don't have to write much. 5 minutes is enough. Choose a set time, morning for setting direction, or evening for thought. When you write, don't dress up your words. Don't try to sound positive. Be real. Write as if you're talking to a smart teacher inside you, one who doesn't scold, only listens and helps you grow little by little. At first, it might feel strange. What should I write? Why am I talking to myself? But after just a few days, you'll start to feel the change. Journaling is a way to take control of your thoughts, recognize your emotions, and keep from being swept up in the rush of life. It pulls you out of sleep mode. It teaches you to think more slowly, deeply, and to look inward instead of just reacting outward. A famous entrepreneur once shared, writing in my journal each night not only helps me sleep better, but makes better decisions the next day. Not because writing is some magical treatment, but because it helps you see clearly what's worth holding on to and what you're better off letting go. If you've never tried it, start today. A notebook, a pen, and 5 minutes of silence. Don't box yourself in with order. You can write short, long, messy. It doesn't matter as long as it's honest. And if writing is already part of your life, stay tuned for the next lesson, because what's coming is the key to turning discipline into your most powerful source of energy. Thanks. And lesson number 11, practice thanks and forgiveness. Forgiveness. Lesson number 11, practice thanks and forgiveness. In every journey of teaching the mind, there is one habit that may seem gentle, but holds the greatest power: the practice of gratitude and forgiveness. This is not a hollow emotional act. It's a way to cleanse your mind. Keep the good and drop the burdens, true to the spirit of someone living by the philosophy of Stoicism. When you practice, thanks you shift your focus away from lack, worry, and dissatisfaction to see what you already have. Not everything is great, but there is always something to be thankful for. It could be a roof over your head, a healthy meal, a loved one by your side, or simply the fact that you're healthy enough to begin a new day. Thankfulness calms the nervous system, lowers stress hormones like cortisol, and boosts the release of endorphins, the hormones of joy. You can't be thankful and angry at the same time. Gratitude helps you pause and understand many things you take for granted are actually gifts, but alongside gratitude comes forgiveness, and that's the harder part. Forgiveness doesn't mean you condone someone's wrongs. It means you refuse to let the hurt continue to rule your mind. When you hold on to anger and resentment, you imprison yourself in the very feelings that hurt you. Forgiveness is the act of the strong, the one who chooses freedom from mental burdens. For a Stoic, the only thing you can truly control is your attitude and your reaction. So why choose to take those wounds into a new day? Start your morning with one simple but powerful act. Write down 3 things you're thankful for today. It could be the presence of family, a healthy body, or the chance to learn something new, say thank you. Not just with words, but with presence and the way you live. And if there's still something unsettled with someone, a misunderstanding, an apology left unsaid, send a message, make a call, or if you're not ready, just write down what you wish to speak and forgive them in your heart. You'll feel as if you've taken off a heavy bag that's quietly been weighing on your shoulders all this time. Appreciation and forgiveness cost no time, no money, but they offer the best gift, a freed mind and a lightened heart. It's the present you should give yourself every morning to begin your day, not simply with a clear mind, but with a soul at peace. Stoicism doesn't just teach you to be strong, it teaches you to be free from within, because thanks and forgiveness are the gateway to that freedom. We've just gone through 11 strong steps to teach your final results. Mind each morning, starting from seemingly simple actions like embracing silence, setting goals, and writing to deeper Stoic ideas like premeditatio malorum, the circle of control and exercise thankfulness. Each step is a building brick, helping you create a solid, calm, and purposeful thought, true to the essence of Stoicism. Now it's your turn to take action. Do the 7-day challenge every morning. Follow all 11 steps and see how you're feeling. When your productivity and outlook on life start to change, share your results. Remember to say which lesson most impressed you in the comments section below. If you thought this video was helpful, please let us know by using the subscribe button and enable the notification bell to ensure you don't miss the following step. Your next movie is waiting in the corner. Don't click away just yet. See you there.